Let's talk about normalizing grief when we hit really big goals that either income goals or a higher level of client or some kind of arrangement that used to be like something a past version of you literally could almost never imagine you get. And then you get it, and then you feel really, really fucking excited. And then all of a sudden you hit a wall where you feel devastated, you feel grief, you feel guilt, shame, and then almost like you betrayed yourself. And then you immediately start future tripping on, is this the only time I could ever have that? Do I really deserve that? Et cetera, et cetera. And so I'm going to go into my explanation of what I found the reason is for that, and then how I weave that into the container I build for myself in my life and my business, and then how I help clients do that too. So this is inspired by one of my clients. We've been working together. She's been in my 6-month container for about 2 months now, and she just hit like an insane client. Like her client package that she just sold is like the highest by a lot that she's ever sold. And just like I said, it's like we celebrate, we're really excited. And then all of a sudden it's like you just hit a wall and it feels like everything's coming crashing down. So how I've pieced together what's happening to me when that happens is that there is a version of me that has fought really hard to get to this point. And in terms of my business, my version is like this really fucking scrappy, isn't afraid to get her hands dirty, isn't afraid to walk up to anyone and just be like, whatever, like I'm going to do the thing because this is what I believe in, and will do whatever she needs to do to get it done, even when everyone's like, you're crazy, that's not a good idea, don't do that. So let's say that version of me fights really, really hard. She doesn't care about not sleeping. She doesn't care about having the t-shirts when she first started her brand under her bed while she lived in a 1-bedroom apartment with 3 roommates and 2 dogs. And she was like slinging t-shirts out of her car. Like just, she's crazy, right? She's a sav. But when we hit income goals and then also freedom with our clients where we don't have to do that anymore, that version of me goes like, wait, what the fuck are you doing? Like, don't you remember where you came from? What about me? Like, what am I supposed to do? And so she was driving until I hit certain goals, and then it's like a changing of the guard, I call it. So it's like she gets out of the driver's seat and she gets in the passenger seat. And this transition to me feels like a death. I have a Scorpio stellium, so my feelings can be quite dramatic. But I find this with clients as well. Like, this isn't just me. Like, it feels like I'm dying. And really, I kind of am, because there's a part of me that's actually dying off, or a storyline that's dying off as she gets into the back seat. And so that death gets to be, to me, I think it's really important to honor her and honor that version of myself just the same way that you would an actual death. And so really taking the time to thank her and witness her and just be like, I see what you did for me. Like, I see the way that you showed up for me, and thank you. And a lot of times when the guilt or the shame or the anxiety or the future tripping starts to pop up, it's not because I'm actually undeserving of this next level or higher level that I'm stepping into. But it's because she feels like she's going to be left behind. And so she's like kicking and screaming to try to get my attention. And so it's my job to witness her, to validate her, to say thank you. And then what I love to do is to give her another job. So instead of being the girl who like is so good at surviving and fighting for her life and making shit happen, I'm like, you're so scrappy. You're such a sav. Like, I want you on my team, like my board of directors. But instead of being the CEO, you're going to be in charge of like problem solving in the moment. So it's like when I'm on retreat or I'm in some kind of like on the ground situation, and there's a moment where you can only prepare so much, and then you just need to like show up and handle business. Like I want you there, and I want you to help me problem solve and just get done what needs to get done. And then that makes her happy because she feels included and valuable. And that makes me happy because I'm like, you're so good at this. Like, I still need you. I just don't want you to be in charge. So I want to validate grief. If you're hitting bigger goals or just more freedom, like if your clients are really, really fun to work with and it almost doesn't feel like work, there can be grief with that too. So normalizing the shit coming up in your business as you meet your goals, and then looking to find support or build containers for yourself in order to like really be able to hold that. So even just by knowing now, like, oh, when I hit a big goal, I might have like a little contraction or like feel like I hit a wall a little bit. Instead of panicking and like making an actual change in your business from that place, how can you slow down a little bit and create a little pocket for yourself to grieve, like to drop into a healing pocket and to hold space for yourself. And honoring and incorporating that version of yourself that's no longer in your driver's seat or in the driver's seat. And also tuning into this next embodiment of you that's coming forward that has higher levels of income and has more freedom. There may be some micro calibrations or some shifts you need to make in the way that you're living your life in order to operate differently. So like if we're having the one who used to drive to sit in the back seat, what are the different ways that this new embodiment of you shows up in her business? Does she frantically check emails immediately when she wakes up in the morning? Does she say yes to every client that asks to work with her? Or is she a little more discerning and she lets people come to her and she's like, that's my schedule is too full for this month. Like, let's talk about moving forward next month, or these are the boundaries I would need, or this is the pricing that I would need. What are the outfits that she wears? Is it the same? Does she have the same old underwear and socks that you've been wearing, or does she need to buy new socks and underwear? So just tuning into the different who's driving now and starting to weave that into how you're showing up in your life and your business will help land this sustainably in your nervous system and in your bank account. Anyways, that was fun. Thanks for tuning in.